I mean, since the morning began, he was calling for higher prices, 52.81, then into 5300s, 5322 was one of them. So we have a number of these different channels, trade indications. This is me posting. And here I was looking for the NASDAQ to move from 980, 7:30 in the morning, price was around 980, to move toward 270 to 290 during the pit session. We are, of course, a heck of a lot higher than that. So this is what we do. We have a public area. You can see what people say about us. This is actually one of the members taking that gold trade I was talking about, the buy at 24.46 to move higher. I post there as well, also in a public area. This is, whatever I can, I take a screenshots of the trades that I post. I take a screenshot of the rhythmic dashboard, and just day after day, we have these trades that members share, that I share. We're now approaching 600 members. People like us. We have been on fire lately. So come and check us out. In any case, we are here today to talk about Zephyrus Force. We're going to be looking at live charts from today. So I never cherry pick. When there is a webinar, I always show today's charts. I trade them using prop firm accounts. And I'm just going to be kind of talking about my approach to trading this particular system. So a quick introduction first. Zephyrus Force. Basically, what this system does is it identifies a trend. Then it waits for two types of pullbacks. A Fibonacci retracement pullback, which you can customize what kind of Fibonacci retracement you want. Everything I'm going to be using today is default settings, out of the box as is. I did not change anything on any of the charts we're going to see. I did not want anyone to say, well, you changed things to make it look good. No, I changed nothing. I touched nothing. I simply put the indicator on the chart. We're going to have different time frames. I've made, I think, 2 or 3 already of these webinars. One of the complaints was I only show King Renko bars. Now, I'll be honest with you, I prefer the King Renko bar. I think it's a very accurate bar to trade with this system, and really most of Ninja Core systems. But for today, just to show it's not only the King Renko bar, we're going to be taking a look at time charts, tick charts, range charts, and the regular Ninja Core bar. Not the King Renko, but the Ninja Core Renko bar, just the regular Renko bar. So it's really as simple as that. So it has a trend, two types of pullback, Fibonacci and PA pullbacks. Those are pullbacks into the cloud. We're going to see those. It is a deeper pullback than a Fibonacci pullback. It is a pullback into this cloud, and then we're going to see those PA. Here is one of them, PA pullback. It's just a deeper pullback in the same trend. So this is really a trend following system with pullbacks. So you will only going to see signals in a direction of the trend. It's going to be waiting for pullbacks, but in a direction of the trend. There is a way to trail stops and all of that. I'll tell you, especially with the smaller time frames, like the smaller King Renko bars or the Ninja Renko bars, that's really, I think, for scalping. You can use this, let's say, on time bars for more than just scalping. But if you're going to use a smaller time frame, it's really for scalping. But you could trail. This system does allow you to have a certain methodology of trailing a price. Anyway, I really want to start looking at the charts. This is all nice, but I think really to get a feel for it, it's important to look at real charts from today. So what should we start with? So let's start with a King Renko bar and then move to other time frames. So just make sure you guys can see it. Yes, okay, right? Yes, guys can see it. All right. So this is crude oil. So crude oil opens up at 9 o'clock. And so we're gonna, so you see here, this is the PA, this is the deeper pullback. This is the PA pullback. Now let's, before we even go further, I want to say a few things here about the system. First of all, the signals do not repaint. What is repainting? Repainting is when in real time, let's say a signal is in a different place, and let's say it works out to be like a losing signal, right? If you refresh a chart, all of a sudden that same buy signal is in a different place where it looks like it's a winning signal. That's called repainting. There is no repainting here. So you can take a look at historical charts and it's going to look the same way as real-time live chart. It does not repaint. The signal is printed upon bar close. So this signal doesn't appear here on the bottom. I wish, no, it appears here. When this bar closes, the opening of the following bar will paint this signal. Okay, that's as far as that. This system does not come with automation. However, you can, and I recommend you do, automate these signals using a third-party software. I'm sure most of you know what that software is. If you're not sure, email me or ask your friends. I'm sure they'll be able to tell you. Email me. I think especially with King Renko bars, things can happen so fast, and lately the volatility has been so great. You will just be missing these signals. If you automate these signals, as soon as it's painting, this auto trader is going to take a trade, and it's just easier that way. How do I trade that? So I have a few rules that I have for the system. Now, those rules are not officially from Ninja Code. These are my rules. That's how I trade it, okay? To be clear. I take only the first signal in a given direction. What does that mean? I would only take the first one, okay? If there are subsequent signals in the same direction, in this case, short, if there are subsequent signals short, I would not be taking them. I only take the first one. Subsequent, number two, signals in the same direction, and I think everyone short, should have a trading plan subsequent signals that includes short, a reasonable, I would not be taking them. I only take the first one. Subsequent, okay, for me for today it was signals in the same direction. Reasonable, everyone should have a trading plan. Don't just keep on trading short. The idea is not to take every single trade you see. We're going to go over all the signals just for demonstration, but what I'm saying is that's a bad way to go. You must have a plan. You don't just keep on trading. Third thing, I do not like to trade past 10:30, 11 a.m. Eastern. So after like an hour to an hour and a half after the US session opens for indices. Or after like 10:30, after an hour and a half for crude oil. I just don't like it. I like to get my targets in early and be done. I don't want to still trading during chop time. Very often, I mean, now things are moving, but very often, once it's like 11 o'clock, things really slow down. And I don't want to be participating in chop. That's not what I want to do. So I don't just keep on trading. I have a plan. I have a target. I'm done. I try to stay away after 10:30, 11 o'clock. Anyway, so let's get to it. So here we go, 9 o'clock. We have the first one is a PA long. It gets you here. Again, King Renko bar, probably only for scalping. There might be scalping here. If not, it's a small loss, but you should get something here. Here is another one here. Again, this is crude oil. So this is about $100+ here, which is a scalp. And this is the deeper PA signal. This is the deeper retracement into the cloud. Oops, and here is the signal. Later on, trend up, right? So again, first it identifies a trend, waits for a pullback. Here is the Fibonacci 50% pullback. Again, I did not change any settings. And the truth is you should be working on settings because depending on what time frame you use, you will need some adjustments. But again, just to avoid this whole thing of settings, I change nothing. And I take only the first one. So this is the Fibonacci long, right? And that's all we have. So that's crude oil. It is what it is. Didn't do much for today. Okay for scalping, and there was a bit more than a scalp, but again, not much in crude oil, and this is the King Renko bar. Again, guys, I don't cherry pick, so this is what happened today. I'm not gonna try to look for a chart from 2 weeks ago that looks good. That's not being honest. So that's the King Renko. Now let's take a look at the regular Ninja Renko, and this is on gold. So gold a bit after the news, right? We had the 8:30 news. Gold opens early. A bit after the news. We don't want to be trading the news. So here's the short, right? Here's the Fibonacci short, change of trend, Fibonacci retracement, bar closes down. Here is the short. Again, I prefer the first signal only. Change is switching. Here is the long trend, pulling back, Fibonacci retracement, 50%. Up we go. Here was a change of trend, but no confirmation of any kind. So there was no short here. There was no short. Again, take a look at the time, right? You want to be aware of the time. Pullback, Fibonacci 50%. Up we go. This is a short trend, a bearish trend, I should say. And there is not much here, right? So you see how as we get deeper into the day, the setups are not as good. That's why I don't like trading during that time. Change of trend, Fibonacci, deeper PA, right? This is the deeper retracement with a PA signal, and up we go over here. So this is gold on an Ninja Renko, 8-4. Okay, let's start looking at some other types of charts. For example, let's look, what is this here? The YM. The YM, and this is a 200 tick chart. So a 200 tick chart, just to show you, it doesn't have to be any kind of a King Renko or any kind of a, we're going to be looking at a different time frame. So 9:30, right? The trend is long. This is the first Fibonacci, this is the first Fibonacci retracement, and just up we go. So the YM very bullish today. This will be the first retracement right after 9:30, second retracement, and that's it. I mean, again, you must have your reasonable daily goal, right? The idea is not to keep on trading. So here it is. A few of these Fibonacci. Again, I prefer the first one. Change of trend, but no signal. Long, and here is the signal. This gives you something, 20, 30 ticks. But again, chop time, right? Again, that's why I don't like this time. Use a Fibonacci retracement long. You had something here. That's why I don't like subsequent signals. You see that? This is good. This is not. Here was the short. Get something here. And this is now. So yeah. So again, I don't like trading after 10:30, 11 o'clock, but you had some opportunities after that as well. All right, let's, how about some NASDAQ? For the NASDAQ, I chose a 30-second chart. I was thinking of a minute, but because of the volatility, the bars on the minute chart are so huge. I thought, how do you really trade that? So again, I just prefer the King Renko. With the King Renko, you know exactly where the bar is going to start, where it's going to end. It's more uniform. This is a bit more chaotic, but in any case, here is 9:30. This is a 30-second chart. Here is the PA deeper retracement long. I know it doesn't look like much. It's about 20 points. just, just so you know, I mean, this is the kind of volatility we had. This is about 20 points, $400 per contract. Then the trend is changing short. Now remember, a change of trend by itself is not a signal. I guess it could be if you want to treat it like that, but the whole point of this system are the pullbacks. So there was a change of trend, but technically this is not a signal to go short. And there is no signal to go short. Did not reach the minimum requirements. Here is a Fibonacci retracement here. Here it is, long. Again, guys, this is default settings out of the box. I did not change a thing. And wow, I mean, that's that's a that's a killer long, right? Again, you see how the first one is the best and the subsequent are not so much. That's again why I prefer the first signal in a given direction. This again, you know what? Look at the time, right? After 11, don't like it. Fibonacci down. This is still, I got good for 10 points, I guess, but I mean, definitely not much. Fibonacci long, and that takes you up. Change of trend again. This is the PA deeper retracement short. Here it is, and that takes you down. Long trend, but no signal. Short trend, but no signal. See now, so here it is along again. But again, you see how, like I bet if you sat down and you would change some things in the settings, it would just behave better. Again, with the King Renko bar, it's slightly different. So I imagine you would need to change, you would need to customize some settings to really, if you like time charts, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with time charts. But you would probably need to customize some settings. Again, I did not change anything here. And still definitely very nice signals. Now, what would you change? For example, let me show you. And there's some in a slideshow, you're going to see some slides that have to do with that. Basically, these three, the first three, that deals with the sensitivity of the trend. How sensitive do you want the trend to be? In other words, what kind of a price movement the other way would change the trend, for example, from long to short? So that's these three. These three settings have to do with that. Then, of course, the Fibonacci retracements, right? The default is at 50%. You want it to be whatever, 31, 62, whatever the numbers are, 78, whatever. So you decide what kind of a Fibonacci retracement you want. Again, I did not change anything in any of these settings, but probably if you choose some time frames that might not behave so well, call it behave so well, you might want to change these settings to get better results. So, right, that's the NASDAQ. We did not look at the Russell yet. I put the Russell on a range chart. 15 range chart. Where's the Russell? Here is the Russell. This is the Russell on a 15 range, so like a regular range chart, right? Again, with the same settings. So 930, change of trend, Fibonacci retracement, and you have definitely a winning trade over here. And you see how the first one is the best, right? The subsequent sometimes are not so good. So I only take the first one. Then a whole bunch, well, there was a short that gives you something. The short gives you something. This short is not, this is not a good short. This would be not a big losing signal, but a losing signal. Here is the PA retracement into the cloud. This is a nice long Fibonacci retracement. Again, this is, I would just stick with this one. Then we have a change of trend, but no signal. A change of trend, Fibonacci long. This is a scalp, another Fibonacci long. Another one, but that just gets overdone. And again, look at the time, right? You see the difference in movement after like 10:30, 11 o'clock. That's just, that's very common. And we just had a couple of Fibonacci's here for a scalp. But anyway, so this is a 15 range. Not my way to trade, but some people like range charts. So this is a range chart on the Russell. Let's, what else do I mean? Oh, the S&P. Yeah. Let's look at the S&P. Oh, S&P. S&P I also have on the Ninza-Renko chart. So this is the S&P 930 Fibonacci retracement. Here it is. Change of trend, but no signal. Change of trend long. You have the signals here. There's the Fibonacci retracement 50%. Up we go. Change of trend, no signal. Change of trend, Fibonacci pretty much break even, I guess, before the change of trend. Long Fibonacci retracement. Again, look at the time, right? Can only get a little bit here. This is probably no good because there was a change of trend here. And now we're here. So not enough for a Fibonacci retracement or the PA pullback. So that's the S&P. Do I have anything else? No, I think I covered everything pretty much. Right, let's take a look at the slideshow. You know what? Before the slideshow, just in case you're in a hurry, let me show you the deal. Okay. So the deal is normally it is $2,200, 15 licenses for $596. There is a $200 gift with the code Fibonacci. And by the way, any questions regarding anything that has to do with the product or something is not working or any kind of an issue, you contact Ninzaco directly. Info at Ninzaco. I'm just the guy who trades. That's all I do. I just trade. So yeah, so this is the deal. 15 licenses at 596. By the way, if you somehow don't make it, whatever, if you email me, can't promise, but I'll see what I can do. Email me and quickly show you again my info here. I'll go day trading at yahoo.com. If you email me, I'll see what I can do. And anyway, so this is everything that we have seen, right? Change of trend and then wait for a pullback. The trades, the signals will only be in the direction of the trend. There was some back testing done. This is again just different time frames. Different time frames. We've seen that same exact idea. It's the trend and then waiting for retracements. Now, okay, so this is a back test done by Ninzaco, not by me. I don't do back tests. So this is a 200-day back test on a 12-4 King Renko. By the way, King Renko is accurate for back testing. as much as back testing could be accurate. Obviously, there's some variables with back testing that sometimes can't be replicated in real time. We all know that. But as far as the bar itself, King Renko bar could be back tested accurately. So this is the test that they ran using this system. And now I don't know if it was with default settings. This you're going to have to ask them. I don't know. Everything I showed you today is default settings. I don't know if they changed anything. So these are the results. They ran the same test on a 1 minute chart, on a 1 minute chart. And these are the results. Okay, as far as what kind of a system it is, well, it's definitely a trend following system. It is trend following with pullbacks. It's obviously based on price action. It could be for scalping. It could be for swing trading. Most of the time, I think it's for scalping. However, there could be some, and we've seen some very big moves are possible if you can trail the price using this system. Right. So we saw the clouds, right? The clouds is what begins to identify the trend, and you kind of know where the trend is going to end. And it's also used for the deeper PA retracement. Covered all that. Let me just see if there's something we did not cover. I know that if you try and kind of trail a price, that's not the right thing, but yeah, I don't know. You could use they do have like a trailing stop, like these things, like a trailing stop. That would be, I guess, more appropriate for a King Renko bar. Again, or a Ninja Renko. But again, using a King Renko or a Ninja Renko, in my opinion, you just want to scalp. You must have an amount you have in mind, and you just scalp 50, 100, $150, and you can do this a few times a day. Okay, so we've seen that. We know that two types of pullbacks, again, Fibonacci and the PA pullback. I think I covered everything. Let me do this. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to take a drink of water. And you can type any questions you want in the chat, and I will read over the questions, and we can go over some questions. In the meantime, maybe we can catch a live trade. What should we use, though? What should we use to possibly catch a live trade? So, well, we just missed this PA long. Yeah, so you see, this is the deeper PA retracement. But I'm thinking if we have a chance of catching anything, maybe we need like a King Renko bar, or maybe even a Ninja Renko bar. Maybe like a Ninja Renko, maybe 12-4. See if we can catch something live. Don't get stuck on me, please. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck on me. All right, so I'm not sure. This chart might be just got stuck. My other charts are moving. Let's give this a minute. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, uh, let, let's do the plan. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to grab a bottle of water. Any questions, please leave it in the chat. I will be right back. All right, let's see. Oh, so it's working now. Good. So yeah, it's working. So the idea is there was a change of trend. Let's see if so there was the Fibonacci retracement, but we didn't get a signal. Let's see if we get a signal. What does a PA stand for? Does it stand for price action? It might. To me, just means it's the deeper retracement into the cloud. I mean, I guess it's based on price action. I mean, the whole thing is based on price action. Um, okay, so no 50% retracement yet. It might just go into the cloud and look for the PA signal. So let's see. Since there are no questions, really, I'm just going to take a few minutes. Let's see if we can catch a live signal. All right. Okay, hold on. Yeah, email me regarding how to automate the system, only because I'm not sure if Ninjaco has a business relationship with that company. So unfortunately, we didn't get a signal here. It didn't go deep enough for a signal. So it's not going to take a short because again, this is trend following. So even though it's in the cloud, there's not going to be a short signal. It's going to wait for retracement. We'll give it a few minutes. We have some time. So again, this is just a 12 for Ninzarenko. Let's see if we have a PA signal, maybe. Nope. Nope. No PA signal instead of a change of trend. And now it's going to wait for a retracement for a short signal. So it draws for you where it wants that retracement to go to. And didn't quite get there. Now, if you adjusted some settings, could you find something that would take this kind of short? Yeah. But again, I don't want to start dealing with changing settings. So let's see if we get anything. So let's see if we're going to come into the cloud, and then if there was a bot that will close down, but it has to get here first. Then it's going to be a short, but didn't quite get there. Oh, no, we did. I'm sorry. Yes, it did. Here we go. So this little tip, I guess, got in there. And that's the Fibonacci. That's not the cloud, though. This is the Fibonacci. So this is the Fib. And that's why you see why it's so important, I think, to use automation. See how fast this happened? Like, how would you catch this manually? It would be very tricky. So I do think automation here would help. I believe so. So you see again, I mean, decent signal, right? Again, not my favorite time to trade right now, but this is decent for a quick scalp for sure. Here we go. So that's how this works. All right. Well, glad we were able to catch to catch a trade. Let's see if there are any more questions before. I don't see any more questions. Why? Yeah, it just the way again, when it comes to programming, I cannot tell you how it's coded. But however it finds these Fibonacci retracements, it finds, and then it just draws the signal. It paints the signal when the bar closes. Okay, so I'm told the coupon is not working. So again, do you mean which coupon is not working? Again, any kind of a technical issue with that, contact Ninzaco. They will respond to you, I promise you. I have no control over that. I know one time when I did one of these webinars, the website crashed and no one was able to do anything. So any kind of an issue with the coupon, just email them. Maybe this one is, it should be the same one. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for stopping by. Once again, if you need to get in touch with me for any reason, this is my email. And yeah, I mean, Zephyrus Force is, I've been kind of looking at it for the past about 3 weeks now. It is very consistent and it can handle chop fairly well, better than average. It can handle chop. Obviously, it does great when things are moving, but almost anything does great when things are moving. It can handle chop fairly well, fairly well. Yeah, that's about all I can say. So thank you all. Get in touch with me for any reason, any issues. Otherwise, get in touch with Ninzaco. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Wow, it has been a while since I made a live webinar for Ninzaco, but there is a new product that is pretty awesome product. We're going to go over it. We're going to see live charts from today. As you know, I never cherry pick anything. Live charts from today, along with my personal funded PA account. I only trade using PA accounts for these presentations. I do not do market replay. I do not do sim accounts, as you know if you've seen me before. I trade accounts that matter. So let's start with today's presentation of Zephyrus Force. But first, If I may, I would just like to take 1 minute. Well, first of all, my name is James Buckman. I've been trading for 16 years, 16 years. Out of those, about 9 years profitably. And I have a website. I have a Discord group. Now, this Discord group is want to kind of give a quick plug-in. So we do, if you visited it before, some things have changed. What I have added was, let's see if I can find it here, actual entries. Before, I just gave kind of zones. Now I have a channel dedicated to actual entries. For example, today to buy the Nasdaq at 998, the low was 20,000. I think 84, so close to 90 points in that trade. The YM was to buy at 712. The high was like 795, so about 80 ticks there. And crude oil to sell 77.30. The low was 76.40. Now, you cannot catch the full thing, obviously. That's not what it's about, but you can get some. So people, our members are just very happy with the new changes that we have made. Also, a good friend of mine, over 10 years, a good friend and a mentor of mine, joined this community, and he has his own channel in the members area, and he's just, I mean, yesterday he called a 20-point S&P move. Today, more than that, he actually shorted. First, he went long toward 56.27 from about 03, and then he shorted 27 to move to down to 11 and lower. So our members are very happy. We started with 11 members back in October of 2023, and now we have over 500. So yeah, just come and visit, come take a look. If you ever tried live rooms before or some services before, this is something different. We really have quality stuff now. We always did, I believe, but I think it wasn't for everyone before. It was for slightly more experienced trader, and I think now we can pretty much meet the needs of any trader. People are passing evaluations, getting qualified for payouts. So good stuff. I'm going to try and put it in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully it's in the description of the video if you are watching a recording. So let's see if I did it. I think I did it. So I think it should be in the chat. In any case, let's start about presentation of Zephyrus Force. So I was already received a few emails regarding this, asking me to go and do the charts first because people are in a hurry. I understand everyone is busy, and I do appreciate you taking the time to be here. So we're going to start with the charts, and then we circle back to the slideshow presentation, because after all, the point is what? The question is, can you make money with this indicator? That's the bottom line. So unless you see the charts, you don't know. So let's take a look at the charts first. I prepared 5 different instruments. I did not trade all 5 today. I did not. My goal was 400 for the day. And as you can see here, it's a PA account, and this is my total, 430. Once I reach my total, I am done trading. I mainly traded, I believe it was the Russell and the Russell and the Nasdaq. But we'll take a look at all 5. So what is this all about, first of all? So it's like this. This indicator first identifies a trend. And yes, everything is customizable. And no, I changed nothing. I used, on purpose, I used default settings on everything. Because if I'm going to start talking about settings and how different settings, people get confused, and it's like, well, you got to change the settings and customize. So I did not change any settings. These are out of the box default settings, which means that you can actually have better results if you take the time and customize the settings depending on the market you like to trade. Also, I prefer King Renko bars for most of Ninjako's indicators and systems. This is a superior Renko bar, and it's not an irregular candle. What is an irregular candle? A regular Renko bar, or like a regular Ninja Renko bar, let's say even, um, does not tell you exactly where the bar starts or ends. It's irregular in the sense that the bar does not start where it looks like it starts. Same with the Hakinashi bar, right? These bars, though, actually open when they look like they open and end when they look like they close, right? So this is a kind of bar that you can back test with. So and it's really it responds so well to Ninjako's indicators, especially the King. Um, the Renko King products, which this is. So I prefer the King Renko bar. Do you have to use the King Renko bar? No, you don't. You can even use time charts for this. But just to be consistent, for the sake of consistency, I decided to use a King Renko bar on all the charts I'm going to show you. So Zephyrus Force, what is this all about? It first identifies a trend. Then it waits for two types of trades. The Fibonacci pullback, which by default is 50%. Again, I changed nothing in the settings. By default, it's at 50%. The other type of a trade we're going to see is the pullback into the cloud trade. It's called the PA trade. We're going to see those. So that's kind of a deeper retracement kind of trade. And those clouds really give you a nice visual of the trend along with this moving average over here. So this like for visual and to see where a perfect pullback would be along with the confirmation for the trend to continue in the direction of the overall trend. So again, trend, waiting for a pullback and down, right? So waiting for a pullback confirmation. These signals do not repaint, do not repaint. So you can look at the historical chart and the signals you see, what the signals that appeared in real time. That's important. Okay, so we're going to start with gold here. So here is the trend, right? It waits for a good pullback. Here is the pullback into the cloud. So this is the PA signal. You see that? That's a pullback into the cloud, confirmation down, and down we go, right? Later on, the 50% pullback for the Fibonacci retracement trade. Here is the Fibonacci retracement trade, and again, down we go. A few things about my personal preference of trading, not only this indicator, I should say system. It's really a system. It's not just an indicator. I prefer to take only the first signal in a direction. I prefer not to keep taking signals in the same direction. Even though here, obviously, it works out beautifully, but to me, this is the beauty. This is the trade. I mean, this is absolutely picture perfect. Again, this is not me cherry picking. This is from today. From today. This is the short. I mean, just a great trade. Down we go. It was a change of trend and just nothing happened. The day's over. But again, to me, it's not a point of over trading and keep looking for trades. It's this one. I mean, a beautiful short in gold. Let's take a look at, I'm going to save the NASDAQ for last because everyone wants the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at, why did I lose this chart? Hold on 1 minute. Okay. Okay, did I just lose a chart? Okay, never mind. Let's go with this. What did I do there? Okay. So, all right, let's go with this.
Got a billion-dollar web app idea? Now you can turn it into reality with Hostinger Horizons. To start, just tell Horizons what you want to create and instantly receive the first version. Preview your project and make edits as you go by chatting with the AI. With one click, publish your creation and share it with the world. Connect your own domain straight from within the interface. No coding, no extra setup. With Hostinger Horizons, you get effortless web app creation, hosting, email, and more. Go to hostinger.com and turn your ideas into reality.
What did I do with this other chart? I don't know. So did I say gold before? That was crude oil, wasn't it? The chart before was crude oil. Ignore me. I was looking at something else. In any case, this is gold. So now but the concept is absolutely the same. That was a crude chart that I showed before. The concept is always the same, right? We have a trend waiting for a pullback, waiting for a pullback for the Fibonacci 50% retracement. Here it is. First trade is always the best, as I say, but subsequent trades, signals did fine. Here is again the pullback into the cloud. You see that? And that is, it's called a PA signal, PA pullback trade. Enough for a scalp, but again, the first signal is the best. So now we're opening up. Here is a pullback right into the cloud, right into the cloud. Here's the PA short. Down we go. So trend up that has no Fibonacci or PA retracements, so no trade here on the long side at all. Trend down again. And here is again the pullback into the cloud for a short and lower over here. Then I think it goes toward the end of the day already. So here is a pullback. I'm sorry, change of trend, pullback, and here is the Fibonacci retracement long here. Doesn't give you much, but enough for a scalp. Nothing on the short side, even though here it says trend is down, but absolutely no actual signal on the short side, no Fibonacci or PA signal on the short side. Instead, again, we get long Fibonacci pullback signals, a few of them over here, and then the day is over. So very choppy after the initial signal, actually choppy in general in gold, but you can see how well this handles chop. And the reason it handles chop so well is because it waits for these retracements. It's not simply going to take trades based on a change of trend. It wants a confirmation, a continuation confirmation with these Fibonacci or PA signals. So that was gold. I think I got rid of the YM chart by accident. So let's take a look at the Russell. A lot of people trade the Russell. Let's take a look at the Russell. So same exact idea, right? So 9:30, markets open up. It looks like we have a change of trend, but no confirmation short. Here is a trend long. Here is the PA into the cloud, right? PA into the cloud, long signal, enough for a scalp, not much. Then trend short, Fibonacci retracement signal short. Again, this should be enough for some kind of target. Notice the chop though. Notice this chop handles it well. Change of trend to the long side, no confirmation long. Trend change, but no confirmation short, very choppy. And here is a long. Here is a Fibonacci right there, Fibonacci long. And that is a beast of a trade right here. Again, as I say, right, I prefer the first signal only. When a move gets overdone, I'm not looking for more trades in the same direction. I expect a much deeper pullback. Now, this deeper pullback of the PA signal is okay, but to be honest, I would still ignore it. I would still not take it. So again, a short, but no signal, long, and finally the signal appears here. Unfortunately, just not enough pullback to have the 50% Fibonacci retracement. The good thing here is that you don't have to guess like where to look for the high, where to look for the low, how to calculate this Fibonacci retracement. It would do it for you. It just paints a signal. And I mean, tremendous move higher. We can keep on looking, but what else? So here is a short trend, but no short signal. Again, great way of filtering chop, right? Even though the trend changed, there was really no confirmation here for the short signal. And here there is no confirmation for the long signal, so nothing here. Nothing here, unfortunately. Again, just not enough of a pullback over here. And then here is again Fibonacci long, change of trend, Fibonacci signal long. So unfortunately, it looks like it missed maybe a couple of shorts here, but it's great at filtering chop. That's one thing I've noticed about it. Watching it for the past couple of days, it has a pretty phenomenal way of filtering chop, keep you in the direction of the trend, waiting for that pullback, right? Because markets don't just go in straight lines. Even trending markets have pullbacks, and that's what this indicator does. And of course, Fibonacci is one of those things that everyone is watching for it. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Everyone is watching it. And so when it finally happens, everyone jumps in. And that's why you have these kind of moves. I mean, very big moves, especially from the first signal. Once again, you see just pretty spectacular moves. Then we get into lunchtime. This is probably a losing trade over here. Not a big loser, but it is a losing trade. Just got identified to show you it's not all winning, of course. This short not great. This short a bit better. Again, I don't necessarily like trading at this time. I'm not a lunchtime kind of trader. I prefer to have everything done by about 11 o'clock. I'm on Eastern time, so 11 o'clock within 90 minutes of U.S. session open. Because then it's just all choppy here. There is the pullback trade gives you something, not much. Fibonacci short gives you something, not much. It's lunchtime, and now, current time. So again, my preference is to trade the first 60 to 90 minutes of the day. That's it. But I'm going to show you everything because that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Let me. Where did my YM chart go? Give me 1 minute. I just want to try and find. I also had a YM chart, and I don't know what happened to it. Here's the Russell, the gold, crude oil. I'm also going to do the Nasdaq, of course. I just kind of lost my YM chart. And yeah, I don't know. All right, so I lost it. Okay, let's take a look at the Nasdaq. This is the Nasdaq. Yep, let's take a look at the Nasdaq. Yeah, unfortunately, I lost my YM chart. Okay, the Nasdaq. So 930, immediately a bearish trend. We are waiting for a pullback. Here is the pullback, Fibonacci, short, down we go, right? I mean, that's what it does. It waits for those full pullbacks into, in this case, 50%. I'm going to show you how you can adjust it in a minute. We're looking for 50% retracements in this case to take these signals. This is the cloud PA short, a bit premature, but the trend stays bearish. Maybe you would have gotten stopped here, but the trend stays bearish for a much deeper move down. And again, I tell you, I prefer the first signal. This is the first signal, and it's just so much better. Just looking for more, nothing. Changing to long, retracement, here is the Fibonacci long. How's that for a move? Fibonacci long. Here is the PA pullback into the cloud, right? Again, here we go. This is the deeper pullback beyond the 50% retracement. Here is the cloud pullback. Beautiful trade. I mean, wow. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, a change of trend, right? Here is the short. Can't ask for better than this. Change of trend to long. Not much here, but okay. I mean, gave you something. Yes, same here. Nothing great, but again, gave you something. Here is the Fibonacci long. The PA pullback into the cloud. A few of those. This is Fibonacci. Change of trend, Fibonacci short. This is the cloud PA. This one is a loser. The change of trend is here. There was not enough here for anything really. Again, getting into lunchtime, right? Not the best time to trade. I do not trade for the most part during lunchtime, but I am going to go over the trade, the signals. Here is the PA into the cloud, pullback, gives you something, Fibonacci short, gives you something, PA short, into the cloud and down. I mean, overall, does really, really well, especially if you take the first signals in a given trend. I'm a big fan of that. Just take the signals in a given trend. Okay, nothing here. So here was a trend long, but no confirmations of any kind. Again, avoiding chop. Look at this beauty. Short trend, bearish trend, right into the cloud, PA short, and down we go. It was another PA short. Oops. Another one here. This Fibonacci is no good. Long has no confirmations. This Fibonacci is no good. The PA is excellent. Down. Again, not the best time to trade now here, but I'm just going to go over everything. Here was a change of trend. PA short. I mean, just a beauty here. Really takes them down. You're going to see later back testing that Ninja did, I think 200 days. I think the profit was like 114,000. But yeah, really very impressive. So change of trend, no confirmation. Change of trend, so far no confirmation. This is a loser. No confirmation here, nothing here. Unfortunately, nothing here. Wow. Yeah. Getting toward the end of the day. This is not much. This is good. This is good. This is good. I mean, you can just see how many winners compared to losers. And how it handles chop. You see, from short to long to short, and no confirmation of a trend of a trade here. No signals until finally here a Fibonacci short. This one is, no, not enough. This is good. This is not. And now getting toward the end of the day here. Fibonacci long. Wow. Again, the PA into the cloud. Fibonacci long. Well, I think you guys get the idea. I mean, just a lot of opportunities every day, but you don't just want to keep on trading. I say it in my group all the time. You don't just want to keep on trading. The point is, you must have a trading plan. That trading plan must have a reasonable daily profit goal. You should not just be trading all day. Just because there is a signal does not mean you should take it. But yeah, look at this Fibonacci short. I'm just going over here for the demonstration of it. It was a Fibonacci short. A few shorts here. No confirmation. No confirmation. No, there was one here. I'm sorry. Here was one. And that's no good. Yep. Not much here. These are quick scalps. There was the cloud P8 pullback going up. Wow. Big move down, but no confirmation until here. Use the pullback into the cloud and a short. Anyway, I don't want to keep boring you with this. But yeah, these are the kind of trades that this system produces. So two main trades, the Fibonacci, which is the 50%, and the PA pullback trades, which go into the cloud and then confirm, in this case, a bar down to confirm a continuation move lower. Now let's take a look at the settings. I just want to show you. So these three, the fast, the slow, the bands, this has to do with the trend. You can make the trend more sensitive, meaning that it would change quicker if you use lower values, or you can make it, increase the values, and then the trend, it will take a lot more to change the trend. So these are these three. Then, of course, the Fibonacci retracement, you can choose any Fibonacci number you want. Again, I changed nothing about any of these settings, just as is. It comes with a 50% retracement, and you can change it to any number. The smaller the number, the more shallow retracement it would need to qualify a trade. For example, as we've seen, right, we've seen a number of times where there were just these big moves, right, but there was just not enough of a retracement to qualify for the 50% retracement. But if you make that 50% lower, then you'll be able to participate in some moves that otherwise you would miss out. But the thing is, of course, everything is a trade-off, right? If you look for a shallower retracement, yes, it would take less to generate the signal, but you might get more false signals, for example. And I hate to use the word false signals. A signal is a signal. Not profitable signals. How about that? I think it's better. So yeah, not profitable. So you can change settings. I changed nothing. I'm showing you charts from today. This is my PA account that I traded to get this $430. And I got it, guys, within the first 20 minutes of trading. Within the first 20 minutes. The signals appeared quickly. I took only the first signal in a given direction, and I wanted to be done by 10:30. My approach is I like to be done, not only when I do indicators and stuff, but even in my own live room. Once it gets beyond 10:30, 11 o'clock, any members here of my group, you guys know that, I begin to discourage people from trading. I don't like trading chop. And after 11 o'clock, very often, you get this chop. Now, after 2 o'clock, sometimes things wake up. but for me, I still prefer the first hour to hour and a half max. And my goal for today was just to make $400. Once I reached it, I was done. I don't care about how many more signals there are, and there were a bunch of good signals. But you must have a daily, it is so essential. Over trading is such a trap that a lot of retail traders fall into. So I don't do that. I don't keep on trading. I simply get my goal and I am done. Now, I wanted to see if we can actually catch a trade here. So there is a change of trend. I don't want to bore people again too much. I want to show you guys the slideshow and the deal for today. So again, this is a system. This is not just an indicator. This is a system that identifies a trend, waits for a Fibonacci retracement or price to come in into the cloud. So here's an example again of the Fibonacci, right? And the cloud pullback short. Obviously, the cloud is slightly less risk because it's much closer to change of trend. So, if your stop is a change of trend, the Fibonacci obviously has more risk, right? Because look at the cloud, as opposed to these PA signals, which are much closer to the edge of the cloud, and so your risk as such is much smaller. So I just want to see if there was a signal painted live, so you can see the signal. Let's see if it's going to happen. So so we could have a Fibonacci, or this is the cloud now, so we could have a PA signal. Nope, change of trend instead. Just give it like a minute or so. Again, I don't want to bore anyone, but I just want to see if there was any live signal that we can see. And by the way, this ability to filter out chop, right? So even though I was looking for long here, let's say no long signal, and now a change of trend, but so far no short signal. All right, well, I don't want to bore you guys, so I'm just gonna maybe start on the slideshow and the deal. What time is it? 2:30, not bad. Okay, so it looks like we're not going to get a signal. Well, this could be the cloud signal. If it closes down, change of trend. Okay, never mind. But at least you see how great it is at filtering out chop, right? At least that. Okay, we'll come back to this maybe a bit later. We'll just come back to this. I just want to take one last look. Where's my YM? Oh, really upsets me. I had a YM chart and I don't see it. Nope, I don't see it. Well, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Let's look at the deal first. You guys were so patient. We will take a look at the slideshow, but let's find the deal. Okay, so, whoops. Okay, so it's not going to be $2,200. It's going to be $596 for 15 licenses. And then they include with that, smart flattening. So, yeah, I don't know if I ever used that, but this is useful. It's almost like a chart trader kind of thing. This is useful, and they give it away free. Do they give it away with purchase or with? I don't know. But anyway, you can contact Ninzaco over here, their support, and they will answer all your questions that have to do with that. So normally, even when they have the 50% off, this will retail for around like 1,100. But you can get it now for $596, only 15 copies for that. So I'll give you like a minute to take a picture or get the code, and then we're going to take a look at the slideshow, and then we're going to have questions and answers. Okay. Right. I'm going to come back to this as well. Okay, so this is the back testing the NASDAQ 200 days on a 12-4. 12-4 is a pretty good King Renko bar. It's a decent one. Very often I use a 12-4 on a NASDAQ, so that's good. So I mean, impressive results. Myself, I don't run back tests, but as far as back tests go, these are impressive results. Again, with the King Renko bar, you can actually do back testing, as opposed to something like a Ninzarenko or some other irregular bar type. This is on a 1-minute chart, yes. As I said, you don't have to use a King Renko bar with this system. I was just trying to be consistent. I didn't want to show different things, and then it's hard to compare. So I only used the King Renko bar. This way I can be consistent here. These are the results. Okay, so this system is basically based on price action. It is definitely trend following. It identifies a trend first, then it waits for a pullback. It has two kinds of pullbacks, right? The Fibonacci retracement and the pullback into the cloud, the PA signals. With a small bar like the ones I used, it is definitely a scalping. I think the purpose is for scalping, but you have seen how huge some moves could be. However, small bar types usually mean scalping, in my opinion. You can use it for swing trading. You would just need maybe a time chart of some kind. Yeah, so we spoke about most of the stuff already. The PA signals, the Fibonacci retracement, we spoke about that. You can trail the price with the cloud, if that's what you want to do. I would just suggest taking hard targets. If you have a hard target, it's because you are scalping, right? I guess if you have a hard target, you can always look for multiple entries if you want to try and get more. But I think just take the hard target. So these are all the things we have seen, right? That has a trend, a pullback, a Fibonacci pullback, or a PA pullback. Of course, some moves are big. When the price is above the upper band, that means it's a very strong trend. But I think it's very obvious. Below the upper band, this is sideways and not a very strong trend. Again, mostly common sense. Just ways to identify what the market is doing. And again, everything is very intuitive. I mean, you see everything right in front of you. When you see a change of trend, that's when you start looking for a pullback. So this is something other than a King Renko bar, but the same exact idea, right? A change of trend, a pullback, either a Fibonacci retracement that you choose in the settings or the cloud. This looks like the regular Ninzarenko bar. Again, it quote works on everything. I was just trying to be consistent in this presentation, and to me, I do prefer the King Renko bar for these systems over anything else. Okay, so once again, take a look at this. I'm going to take a quick break. Going to get something to drink real fast. You can type your questions in the chat, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Give me, please, like 2 minutes, even less. Be right back. All right, so I did forget to mention one thing. Let me very quickly show you something. So because the signals can appear very fast. We just kind of show this, right? So there is a way to automate these signals with a third-party software. Now, the system by itself does not come with automation. I want to make it clear, it does not come with automation. However, if you have a third-party system that can automate chart objects, let me show this. And you go down to, you see where it says custom? You change that to built-in. What it does is it would now allow a third-party software to take these trades automatically. Now, I don't know if Ninzaco has a business relationship with this company. If you have a question, you can email me. I'm going to put my email again from the slideshow. I think a lot of you know this company anyway. It's very popular. But what it does is it automates the signals. So you don't have to try and catch it because things can move very fast. I don't have to tell you how fast some of these markets can move, and you will be missing these signals. But there is a way to, as soon as the signal appears, and it appears, by the way, on bar close. Let me clarify that. The signal appears on bar close, so it would appear here on the opening of the following bar. It's just easier to trade this system if you can use automation, because otherwise things happen too fast. Okay, let me look now in the chat. Okay, ATM strategy. I'll be honest with this. It was a straightforward, for example, anything with a $5 value per tick, like the Russell, the NASDAQ, the YM, anything with that, I go simply for 20 ticks. That's it, 20 ticks. I try and trail it, which is why it's 430. I got one that was slightly better than 20 ticks, but 20 ticks in $5 tick value markets, 10 ticks for gold and crude oil, where it's $10 per tick. And of course, I begin to trail manually even before my target is reached. I never allow a winning trade become a losing trade. So, but you know, again, this is a scalping strategy. I think, especially using a smaller time frame, but you can see how big some moves could be. But obviously, in real time, when this first signal appears, you don't know where it's going to go. So my recommendation is take a hard target. It's a different webinar. I don't want to go into that, but if you can get consistent at $100 a day per e-mini, that's all you need. That's it. Because then it becomes the power of multiplication. If you have one PA account, it's 100. If you have 20 PA accounts, it's 2,000, right? So don't necessarily look for big moves, which are very difficult to stay with. Just go for the hard target. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, as far as, well, there will be a recording of this webinar that Ninzaco will post on their YouTube channel. If you want a transcript, contact them. Again, I'm just the promoter guy, This is their Zoom meeting. This is their YouTube channel. I'm just the host. So yeah, contact Ninjaco if you want like a transcript. Otherwise, this will be, I imagine, posted on their YouTube channel. The QR code is not working. Okay, hold on. Um, did you try this coupon? And again, any issues with that, I am not the guy. Contact Ninjaco over here, info@Ninjaco, if you have any issues with purchasing. Where would the trade stop? So the trade would that's completely depends on you, right? So if you automate it with a third-party software, it will take the trade. Then it depends on an ATM that you put in this software to how it's going to manage the trade. You can also get in with this automation software and get out manually at any point. So this is completely up to you. It depends what's your preference. Do you go for just, let's say, a few ticks in like a scalp mode, or do you try and hold for bigger moves? That is not so much up to the software. It depends on your own preference and how you manage the trades. Okay, so I don't see any more questions. So again, any issues with this, contact Ninjaco. And by the way, if they run out of copies, because it's 15 copies, email me. Let me show you again. Email me. I'll see what I can do. Okay, no promises, but I'll see what I can do. Yeah, so I am actually pretty excited about this new product. There are going to be a number of webinars that I will be featuring this product. I know a lot of people enjoy trading off of Fibonacci levels. It's a very popular thing, right? People love the Fibonacci retracements. This system offers not only Fibonacci retracements, but even the deeper retracements of of the cloud. I'm just taking another look here. No, I don't see anything. All right. Well, then this is it. I want to thank all of you for joining in. Once again, check out my Discord channel, and I'm going to see you next time. Thank you all. Hi, everyone. We still have a couple of minutes. Could you just please tell me that you can hear me? How is my audio? Is my audio coming through? Okay, great, great, great. Thank you. Let me give me like 1 or 2 more minutes. I'll be right back and we're going to start. All right. Good afternoon, all. For those of you who don't know me, my name is James Buckman. I've been trading for about 16 years, partnered up with Ninzaco almost a year ago, August of last year. I have my own Discord group where I share key levels for 7 futures instruments, including the NASDAQ, S&P, Russell, Dow, gold, crude oil, and the 6E, the euro. So we do have a slideshow, and I'm going to show you the slideshow, but I figured most of the time these webinars take place at 4 p.m. when markets are closed. I figured, wouldn't it be fun to try and catch a trade while the market is open? Um, so just some background first, just to kind of explain to you. Let's talk about the indicator first of all, what it's all about and how I trade it. So if we go back to 9:30, for example, I'm Eastern time, so 9:30 for me is the session open. Okay, so here is how I trade this indicator. I like to take the first signal in a particular direction in one move, meaning that I don't like taking subsequent signals. Just from my observation, not only with Thunderzilla, but other indicators as well, when you start getting multiple signals in the same direction, like continuation trades, the first one tends to be the best, and the subsequent, I believe, have slightly lower probability of success. Not that they're necessarily losing trades, but I feel definitely, like this first one, right now, that's before the open, but this first signal is the best compared to everything else. So the first one is the best. That's what I prefer to take. First signal only. Another thing, I prefer to trade the first hour to hour and a half of the session. Normally, I do not trade at this time. It is 2 p.m. now, my time, about 2 hours before the close. Very often, I'm done by 11. I'm just not looking to trade after that. But since we have a webinar, maybe I can catch a trade. So that's another thing. So first signal and 9:30 to like 11 o'clock, sometimes even earlier. Also, I believe in having a trading plan. Part of this trading plan should include your daily goal, and it should be reasonable based on the time frame, let's say, that you are trading. Right, this is a very small time frame. 8-3 King Renko, very small time frame. It would be unreasonable of me to say, I want to go for $1,500. Not that it's not possible, but I think it's unreasonable. Larger time frames, sure, but this is for scalping. What do I consider to be scalping? I don't know, $50 to $100. Maybe 3 to 5 points. Trading one E-mini. That to me is scalping the Nasdaq. So that's another big. And now another reason why it's so important to have a trading plan is because you're not going to just keep on trading, right? You have a winning trade, you're done. Shut the computer or go on sim. If you keep on going, eventually you will get yourself in trouble. Anyway, that's a separate thing though. But let's kind of talk about the indicator by itself. So this is a trend following indicator by its nature, but it waits for pullbacks. And the way Ninjaco designed it, it can withstand chop very well. Now, being a trend indicator, obviously chop is its enemy, right? There are some indicators that do great during range-bound, kind of directionless conditions. Like your overbought, oversold indicators do great when things are just ranging. They get destroyed when the markets are directional, right? Because there is no overbought market if it's just shooting up. It can continue to be overbought for a long time. But this one is trend following with a very nice ability to withstand chop. Now you're going to see here this. What does this mean here? This means that a move down, so you see that there is a move down here in a bullish condition. So there is a bullish condition, but there is a move down, and this one here says the move down is overdone. So this is not an official buy signal. For me, however, I treat it under the right conditions, I treat it as a buy signal. Why? Because if I'm looking at a particular market and it is in what I call a strong position, meaning that the path of least resistance is to the upside, the market is strong, I'll be looking for temporary oversold conditions to buy. That's what this says. We're oversold, and to me, this is a buy. And again, scalping, right? To me, this here is a nice scalping move. I'm done. Right there, I'm done. Here it is again, right? Move down, overdone. Not an official buy signal from the indicator. We're going to see official buy signals. This is not an official buy signal, but this is an oversold situation in a market that is strong. Now, here's what I mean. Let's, okay. This is not the first buy signal, right? The first one was all the way here, right? This was the first one. This is what the market opens. I would take these. So I would take these because this is oversold in a bullish market. But I would hesitate taking this. Now, the truth is, it should still be good enough for a scalp. but I would hesitate taking this long, this buy signal. That's just me. This is not an official word from Ninzaco, okay? This is me as a trader analyzing the situation in real time. I did trade this today, by the way. I don't remember which trades. Now, then the trend changes, and here is a sell. Now, let me again, give you my approach to trading. When I come into the day, I have a very specific plan. I share this plan with my Discord group and in the live room. Today for the NASDAQ, I was actually looking for pullbacks to buy. In other words, I wasn't so much interested in the short side. I wanted the market to retrace down to buy. So because my trading plan included opportunities to buy, this is a completely legitimate short signal, and it would have definitely hit scalping targets, but I stayed away because I'm looking to buy. You understand? I'm looking for a retracement to buy. Now, that's just, again, my personal trading approach. I never come into the day not knowing what to look for. I know exactly what to look for. And I'm just waiting for the market to cooperate with my plan. If it does, great, I'm trading. If it doesn't, I'm not trading. But in any case, this is a sell, short. Now, take a look what happens. There was another one. Again, I would take only the first one. If I was looking for shorts, I would only take the first one. The second one worked out just fine. Look what happens after the second one. Overdone on the downside. In the market that I already am looking to buy. So this is, again, this is just my approach. What I'm saying now is not an official word from Ninzaco. I'm just saying, if a market is strong and it's retracing, and then you're getting oversold conditions, it is aggressive, but you might want to consider a buy here. But let's kind of keep that aside. This is nothing official from Ninzaco. Here is the buy. I mean, that's what I'm looking for, right? I come into the day wanting a retracement to buy. So this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Now, here is a question. These symbols here mean that the market is overdone on the upside. In this move, what it's saying is there should be a retracement down, okay? Overdone on the upside. Now, I said along here or even here, this is still good enough for a scalp. This is obviously better, but we don't know this ahead of time. So would I want to take the short? Because why not? Well, no, because I'm not looking to go short anyway. And again, strong markets have no overbought situations, my opinion. But here it is, the move. And here is, again, just to show you the first signal, right? The first signal is better than the second. That's why I only go for the first. I do not go for the second. Okay. We have a turn. Now, this here, so this is overdone on the downside. Here was one, here was two, here was another one. This one means momentum is down, meaning the indicator sees a continuation move, in this case, down. This is a momentum kind of a symbol here that we should see a move down. Indeed, there is a move lower here. This is the sell signal, an official sell signal. And once again, I would not be looking for it, but the indicator nailed it perfectly. A beautiful short trade. Now, kind of going back to having a trading plan, right? This move should have been done. I'm seeing this move, I'm taking this move, and I'm done. I'm not going to keep on trading. That's not a good idea. But I'm just going to show you all the signals just because it's a webinar. But as far as your trading, I just want to make it clear, your trading should not include constantly looking for signals, constantly looking to enter trades. In your trading plan, there should be a daily goal. It should be a reasonable daily goal. And this move should have definitely hit that daily goal. in any case. Let's keep on going. So here buys, and again, I'm looking for buys. Let's say for some reason I'm not done, or I missed that signal. These are fine, right? So this is, I just want to kind of, I know it looks like it's just trending up beautifully, but when you really take a look, you're going to see it's not really trending up beautifully. It is very much sideways while having higher highs and higher lows. Overall, it's not just like directionally up, but this indicator, again, has this ability to withstand chop. And it will identify if there is any hint of some kind of a direction, it will catch it, and it will try its best. Obviously, nothing is perfect, to eliminate the chop, or at least reduce the chop. There was no eliminating the chop, but to at least reduce the chop. And so here we are. Again, I'm not interested in shorts here, but this short again would have definitely hit a scalping target. Here is an example why we don't keep on trading. This probably would not be enough for a scalp. That's about, well, it's about 4 points. I guess depends what you're going for. But eventually you see how, you know, if you just keep on trading, it's not a very good idea. Although I do think this first signal should have been enough for some kind of a quick scalp. But I guess it's up, it depends on your plan. Here is an oversold situation. So again, not an official buy signal by any means. But I'm looking at this, right? Again, I'm looking for pullbacks to buy in the NASDAQ. And here is oversold situation, and the market just shoots up. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention also. So this is a losing long, I'm guessing, for sure. Here is where I also kind of get somewhat hesitant. When a move is already well in progress before you see a signal. See, if there was a signal here, I would have taken it 10 out of 10 times. When I see already this, I am somewhat hesitant to take this long. If we kind of look back at the really good signals, they appear before the move happens, right? Before the move happens. We can even kind of go back here. You see this, right? Before the move happens. If this is the first signal, let's say we did not have this one. If this is the first signal, I get a bit iffy here. Because already, remember, this is a very small time frame, and this is the Nasdaq, which is just like a wild mule. Anyway, this is good. If this is the first signal, I would hesitate. Anyway, let's get back to here. Again, oversold situation, and the market's going up. I'm ignoring the shorts. It's a good thing here I did. No longs. No longs. Just a whole bunch of oversold, which would give you probably a scalp. But this is a move lower. Now, if I was looking for shorts, I would have taken this one. It's not too bad yet. Even this one would have worked. I wouldn't have taken that. This one I would have taken and oversold. Well, the indicator is bullish. And again, probably I just like between 4 and 5 points here. So maybe enough for a scalp. Now we're getting into the time that I don't trade, right? Lunchtime, I don't trade, but we can look at signals here. Probably a loser. I'm guessing not enough here for a scalp. Probably a loser. This one you see again, right? Overdone a little bit. If it happened earlier, I would have taken it. This short would have been fine. I just wasn't looking for shorts. Nothing is happening. Lunchtime. Again, I'm not trading at this time. This is no good. This is probably no good. This is fine. This is fine. I'm questioning if I would have taken it, just based on the fact that it didn't come early. So I'm not sure if I would have taken this. Ended up being a beautiful move. Shorts. shorts. This long is a losing trade. Short is a winning trade. We're moving up. A bit of a down on the long side. This is fine. This is good. Now this is good. You see how it happens early? That's what I like. Right over here. This is good. Okay. And yeah, more buys, a short. These buys are okay for a scalp for sure. And now we're coming to real time. So I'm definitely am looking to buy, but let's see. 218. Let's give it some time. Let's give it some time. In the meantime, maybe let's look at some other markets. Let's look at the YM. Hold on. Where is it in Zoom? Why don't I see it? Give me 1 minute here. Okay, the YM. Okay. So in the YM, unlike the Nasdaq, I was actually looking for short positions. The YM was very weak compared to the Nasdaq. It's just a very weak market. I have a couple of traders in my room who trade the YM, and I was telling them first thing in the morning it's going to be hitting 540 when it was around like 620 or something. So again, a bit pre-market, but short trades. That's what I'm looking for in a YM. I would ignore the longs, look for shorts in the YM. Here is another short. Ignore the longs, but this one is fine. Here is another short. And again, but I'm always going back to that, you just must have a daily goal. You just can't be trading and just say, eventually you're going to get bit. So this was another good short on the YM. Decent short here. Again, not taking the second signal, just the first. Just the first. And now it's so not much action, but on a short side, you would have done fine. On a YM, let's look at gold. So gold opens a little earlier than the indices. Hold on, let me find it. Where is gold? Gold. Hold on. Okay. So gold, after the news this morning, gold was like, well, from gold, I was looking to sell from 23.35 down to 23.18. This was my gold plan for the day, to come down from 35 to 18, but gold did fine on both ends here. A buy, a sell, a buy. This sell a bit too late, otherwise it's a loss. And not much is happening since then. So again, gold is the kind of market where, if I don't catch something early, because then it loses its momentum. And so like I would try to catch it early, either a buy or a short, but I would not keep trading it after like 10:30. No, gold is to be done with early. So these two are fine. After that, I would not have, kept trading. Yeah, even though this long is still fine, this would probably, if anything, but I would not even trade that. This would have been the last trade I would have taken. For me, it was really the short. It was the short from here, because I wanted to trade toward 23.18 in gold. Do I have anything else? I think that's it. Let's bring you back to the Nasdaq. Let's see if we can get any kind of retracement to trade. Yeah, let's give them a little bit of time, then maybe I'll just go over the slide. So again, the biggest benefits of this indicator, which I actually believe it's a combination of two other great systems by Ninja, but that's just my opinion. Uh, but it has a fairly good ability of withstanding chop, which is great because it is a trending indicator, and most trending indicators have a hard time when it comes to dealing with chop. This one is pretty good. So this now, as far as stops, right? Where are the stops? So I think the official word is stops are, in the case of long, slightly maybe below this blue line. Obviously, stops are very personal, right? I know traders who put the stops right below the signal bar. This way, the risk is very small. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. Then the risk is small, and you can shoot for larger uh, targets, I guess. But the official word is, in the case of a long, slightly below the blue line. In the case of a short, slightly above the red line over here. So they're shooting up. Let's just maybe give them a couple of more minutes. Let's see if there's anything. Any questions, by the way? Now's a good time to ask while we try to give them a couple of minutes to see if I can have a retracement. Again, I'm not looking for short trades. I just don't know what they'll give me now going into the close soon. Yeah, I don't want to just waste anyone's time here. So let's take a look at the slideshow. 1 minute here. Where is it? Okay, hold on. All right. So Thunderzilla. So that's pretty much what we've been looking at, right? It is a trending indicator that looks for pullbacks. In the case of a short, we have kind of a red cloud here. The indicator waits for a retracement and then a continuation bar in the same direction, and then it shoots a signal, in this case, a short. So yeah, this is the trend, right? It waits for a trend and then a retracement. This is me. Yeah, if you need to get in touch with me with any questions, this is my email, algodaytrading@yahoo.com. Algodaytrader.net is my website. My, let's see. This is my Discord group. So this is the daily plan, right? So for the S&P in the room live, when the session opened, I said if S&P gets below 38, I'll be looking for a move down to 25 and 21 with a possibility of 05. They made a low of 08. And these are the daily levels that I post after Globex opens in the evening for the following day. So people already know what levels to look for in these 7 markets the following day. So anyway, so that's me. Well, we obviously know about our challenges as traders, anything from how to look for an entry to how to manage a trade, and this indicator does it. Excuse me, does it all. Excuse me, my dogs are misbehaving. Guys, come on, get out, 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 out. Thank you. Okay. So we know the problems. This is the indicator. Now, as far as bar types, right? So that's a good question. Bar types. I personally prefer the King Renko bar. I think the King Renko bar is a far superior bar. because it's not an irregular bar. The regular ninja, the regular Renko bar, like the ninja Renko bar, it's an irregular bar, meaning that it doesn't really start and end where it looks like it does. Um, so it's really not suitable, for example, for backtesting. But the King Renko bar is a superior bar, and yeah, you can definitely backtest with this. So the backtest, this is on the NASDAQ. I did not do the backtest. I don't do backtests. I trade in real time. But there are people of backtests. So this is a backtest, very impressive, no question. 200 days on the NASDAQ. There is a video um, that actually shows, I think I have the video here. Maybe I'll play it toward the end. It has no audio, at least not that I can hear. But this is the back test. This is the S&P. And by the way, S&P, I think S&P is by far the most challenging market to trade with indicators, my opinion, my experience. I don't know. I, I cannot get anything to truly be profitable with the S&P, but this one apparently is. Now, I do not trade the S&P with any indicators, but apparently this indicator does do well according to this back test on the S&P. So these are the details for that. The YM also. The YM is fine. The YM I can definitely trade the YM with Thunderzilla, no problem. So we discussed it, right? It is a trend following. It waits for pullbacks. It has the extra bonus of letting you know if a particular move is overdone on the upside or on a downside, and it also draws momentum signals, meaning that a continuation move in the same direction is expected. I can show this maybe. So this is the overdone signal, it's a retracement, but you see if I can, this, right? So this here just shows that there was strong momentum to the downside over here. Okay, so again, I'm not interested in short trades. These are short trades. I would not be taking those. I would be taking those. I missed it, but I would be taking. So again, this is a situation where now this is drawn in real time upon bar close. One thing I forgot to mention: all signals are drawn upon bar close, and they do not repaint. So once a signal appears, it does not repaint. Okay. And they're drawn in real time on bar close. There was another one here, by the way. So this one and this one would have been great for longs. But I wanted to show you, this is the momentum type. I don't really trade those. And again, I wasn't looking for short trades anyway. See if I can, this is the momentum long over here. This one, for me, for today would have been better. This kind of long. Again, this is not an official buy. And to me, the more attractive buys are the ones with the more retracement, like this one here, like this one here, like this one here. So yeah. And now I lost, of course, hold on. Where is, oh. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Right. So here now they're showing you the S&P, and that's great. If you can trade the S&P with Thunderzilla, that is awesome. Again, I do not personally trade the S&P with any indicator. I think S&P is a very challenging market. So here they're using this is a Ninja Renko, I believe. So you can use Ninja Renko with this product, with this tool. So these are all the things we've seen on live charts. So now another thing I forgot to mention. So there are a whole bunch of parameters. that you can change. I did not change a thing in these settings for this demonstration. Now, actually, and I read it just before the webinar, if you see the trend, Ninsaco actually recommends it to be 100, but it comes with 60, okay? And I did not want to change anything because I didn't want to get into the whole thing about settings. What are the settings here? What are the settings there? The truth is, depending on the market you are trading, if you can take the time and optimize it, you would get better results probably than I did with just out-of-the-box settings. And I used out-of-the-box settings. This is the trend and everything else. I did not change a thing. Okay, so that's important to notice because you would do better if you play around with it, because it's hard to compare the Nasdaq to crude oil, for example, right? These are very different markets. So it would not make sense that same settings would be used successfully in both of these markets. I just did not want. So all the charts I showed you had the same settings out of the box, unchanged as is. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's get to the deals, shall we? This way, you were nice enough to stay here. And okay, where are you? All right. Okay, so this is a $2,000 system, $2,600 system, and the first 15 licenses will go for $796. You can also use this code for a $200 gift, which is nice. And yeah, contact this email with any questions. I know nothing about Ninjaco policies or anything like that. So any clarification regarding the product or the sale or the gifts or anything, you contact info@Ninjaco. Because I just trade. That's all I do. I just trade. Okay. What else? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They prefer the 100 EMA. That's not what I used. I used whatever was in the settings. I did not change anything. Okay, but this is the recommendation from Ninsaca. These are time frames. So again, this is what they recommend. I don't think I had that. Let's actually, it's something I should mention. 1 minute. Okay, so I used 8.3 for today. Now, why 8.3? I use 3 types of bar sizes. Well, it's all King Renko, but I use 8.3 or 12.4 or 16.4 based on the volatility that I think we're going to have. Now, after a day like yesterday, right, with the huge move, very often markets go into a consolidation state, right? I did not expect really a very huge range today. I did not expect a huge volatility because of that. So I used a smaller bar type. The smaller the volatility, the smaller bar type I use. Normally, I use 12.4. When I think there's going to be normal volatility, and now we are entering the summer, and as we know, the summer sometimes things get lazy. I might be using 8.3 for the rest of the summer, and I missed along. Talking too much. Okay, so I use 8.3 for the probably for the rest of the summer. When things go crazy, I can use 12.4 or even as big as 16.4 on the Nasdaq. I use 6.3 on a YM and I use 6.3 on gold. Sometimes gold gets a bit more volatility. I might use 8.3, but for the most part, 6.3 for those two instruments. What's this now? Okay, well, they have different ideas of how to use the signals. Again, I think it becomes very individual. I would not keep taking a whole bunch of signals in the same direction. That's me. I just, the first one, yeah, take the first short and try to hold on or just hit your target and be done. But to keep trading, even they're saying here, eventually you're going to get some losers here. It's the first short and it's the first long. And I believe you're going to do much better if you just pick the first signal in a given direction. My opinion. Okay, so we've seen demonstrations and right, well, the buy, continuation moves, the momentums I was talking about. So all of this we have seen. And I don't know if I would love to see another one of these oversold things here, signals. It's not really a signal, I guess what, like, not sure what the word for it's not really a signal. Object? This is the actual signal. Again, you don't want to be necessarily trading at this time. I'll just try to catch something. Even if I take a loss, I did okay today with this indicator. So even if I take a loss, it's okay. Just want to see if there is anything. Again, I would love to get one of these. Sorry about that. The wife is calling. Yeah, so I would love to get one of these. So we have a couple of minutes. Let's see if we can get anything like that. And again, I would strongly discourage you from trading at this time, but maybe I should, while we wait, uh, put again. Okay, questions. So this is the deal, right? This way you have it in case you have to leave. Hmm. I just saw your comment. I'm sorry. You want to see more of a chart to the left? You came in a bit late. Let's do that. I don't know if they'll give me anything here. So let's go back to 9:30. 9:30. So this is right before 9:30. I mentioned that I always prefer the first signal in a given direction. I pointed out how well this indicator can handle chop. A whole bunch of indicators would give you buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. This one stays with a bigger trend within reason. Of course, it is a very small time frame. This would be the first short. Again, I was looking for longs today, but this is a legitimate and definitely a profitable short trade. Here is a long trade. Again, the first signal in a direction and before the move is overdone. That's another important point. I think it's important to keep in mind all of these things, all of these indicators and whatnot, they are trading tools, right? We are not to just use them blindly. We need to use them in context. These tools are not here to replace us, they are here to help us. And so, when I'm looking at a chart, and let's say today I'm planning to trade Thunderzilla and I do my homework the day before. I'm looking for long setups. I would let go of this and it's a winning trade and I would be absolutely okay with it. I would be looking for this. This to me is worth all the work and the waiting. And then I'm done. I'm not keep going to the well. Because if you keep going to the well, eventually you fall in. Um, again, you see first signal is better. The second one, not so much. First signal is very good before the move is overdone. First signal. This one, again, I'm not sure, depending on what you consider a scalp. There was about $80 here. I don't know if this is enough or not. If it's not enough, well, then it's a losing trade. This is an example of a move that's overdone. See, if it came here, it would have been great, but there was no signal here. This is a bit overdone. A whole bunch of shorts. No long here, but there is overdone on a downside object here, which is enough for a scalp. This long is not enough. Again, so now we're getting into after 10:30, 11 o'clock. If you came in late, I said that for my own trading, I do not like to trade between like 11 and 2 p.m. In general, after 11. I mean, if I have to, sometimes I make a video or whatnot, and then I have to trade after 2. I cannot make a video before 2 because I have a room. But if I have to trade after the room closes, it would be after 2 p.m., but never during lunchtime. Just not a good deal. Again, these settings are out of the box. I change nothing. If you play with them a bit, you could make the retracements shallower retracements to give you a buy signal, in which case maybe it would have been a buy here. So this is coming closer to now. And let's just, okay, yeah, so they didn't give me my oversold and they shut up. So those are the breaks, but definitely all day today, I was favoring the long side in the NASDAQ. So let's once again show you this. And let's see if there are more questions. Bigger time frame, so give me an idea. Bigger time frame, okay. You don't have to use them only for scalping. I mean, in my opinion, it is designed to be a scalping indicator. Could you use it? Well, let's try a larger time frame. I don't know. Again, I use 8/3, 12/4, or 16/4. You want to use something bigger? How about 25, I don't know, 8? I mean, I never tried this. I'm just, let's just see. So this is 25/8. Obviously, your stops would be bigger, but your targets would be bigger. This is 9:30. You want to try like a time bar? Let's try a time bar. Again, I never tried this, and I imagine for a time bar, you would need to change the settings. I think you would have to change the settings, but I can't obviously deal with it now. But here is a time bar. This is a 1 minute. It was 9:30. Very choppy. Again, you would need to have pretty small targets to make this work, but really you would need to change the settings. Because I mean, what's the main difference between something like a King Renko and a time bar? A King Renko, you know exactly where it's going to start, where it's going to end, right? A time bar, not every bar is the same size, obviously. You would need to play with the settings. So could it be used on a larger time frame? I believe it could be, but you would need to play with the settings for sure, for sure. And you might even need to get in before the signal, like along once you see blue background and green bars and red background and red bars, right? Green background, blue background, green bars for a long. So that's kind of where we are. So, I mean, I guess it's possible. I guess it's possible. Okay. All right. I don't see any more questions. So, yeah, I want to thank everyone here. Thank you for coming. Any questions for me? Again, you can email me. I'm somewhere here. But any information, yeah, but any information about the product or about the sale, then you contact info@ninzaco. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you all. Enjoy your day. I will see you next time.